What's up everybody, this is Yair and today we are going to draw Goku's father Bardock. Okay, so as you can tell I already drew a perfect square, each side is 4 centimeters. I'm gonna start by drawing the shape of his face. Then we'll continue by drawing his wrinkles between the eyes. We'll draw his eyebrow and make sure to draw the right edge a bit thicker. For the eyes I'm gonna draw 3 lines and make sure to draw the bottom line a bit curved. We'll add his cheek marks and I'm gonna draw his pupil slightly to the left. And we'll do the same process for the right eye. Once we're done, we can continue by drawing the nose. And we'll add his mouth really close to the nose with a very tiny gap. I'm gonna indicate his bottom lip, and now we can draw his scar. And I think I drew it a bit higher, so I'm gonna draw it again, slightly lower. Awesome, so now we can continue by drawing the ears. If you want, you can use this guideline. We're gonna add his headband by drawing a curve right there. And then we'll start drawing his hair, so I'm gonna start by drawing his 4 spikes in the front. We're gonna draw him covering his eye a bit. And covering his ears too. Okay, so now we're gonna zoom out a bit. I'm gonna complete the headband. Then we'll pull 2 lines to create his neck. And I'm gonna draw his neck muscles and the trachea. Awesome, so now we'll continue with the hair. So I'm gonna draw 2 spikes on each side. And then I'll use this guideline to help me keep the right proportions for the rest of the spikes. Once we are satisfied, we can add some details by drawing some random lines in the direction of the spike. Awesome, and now we can draw his torso. So I'm gonna start by drawing his traps by drawing 2 curves just like that. And then I'm gonna draw a rough sketch of his body frame and his armor. So basically I want to get the overall shape, to get the proportions right, and then I'm gonna refine it. So as you can tell, I drew his shoulders. Now I'm gonna draw his bicep and his tricep. His forearm and the sleeve that covers his forearm too. Then I can add some details to refine it. We'll continue by drawing the chest. Make sure to draw the upper lines curvy. And now we can start working on the armor, so I'm gonna give it some thickness and I'm gonna add the details. And before we continue with the details, I'm gonna move to the left arm and I'll do the same process. I'm gonna draw his bicep, the tricep, and the forearm and his sleeve. Awesome, so as you know, Bardock has a tail, so I'm gonna draw his tail right in the waistline. Make sure to give it some thickness on the sides. And we'll pull two lines to create the rest of his armor. Awesome, so now we can start adding all the details to the armor, but before I'm gonna break his armor a bit, just because I want to get his look from episode of Bardock, the movie. So I'm gonna draw nice cracks here, and I'm gonna delete this unnecessary armor. And I'll draw his bottom chest muscle. Of course, don't forget the nipple. Awesome, so now we can continue with the details of the armor. Some more refinement. And we are basically done. So now we'll move to ink this entire drawing. I'm gonna use a 0.1 black pen, and of course you want to rotate the page so you can have your natural hand movement. Do it as precise as you can, but most important, make sure to enjoy this process. Okay, so once we are done, I'm gonna take the charcoal eraser and I'm gonna get rid of all the lead. And then I'll use the eraser stick for those stubborn areas. Make sure to do a fine job erasing, cause later you don't want the lead to smear all over your drawing. Okay, so it's pretty much clean and we can start coloring this piece. I'm gonna use Copic markers. Those are alcohol based markers, which means they can blend very well. If you look at your top left of the screen, you can see the specific number of Copic I'll be using. So we'll start by coloring his body with the skin tones. I'm gonna use E51 as the brightest color. And as you noticed, I left some blank areas to create a nice glowing effect. Next we'll use a bit darker tone, E21. Then we'll use the darkest tone, and finally we'll blend the colors together to give it a nice look. And if you want, you can also use the colorless blender to blend those areas. Awesome, so I'm gonna do the same process for his left hand and for the chest as well. As you can tell, for the chest I worked with left to right and right to left with the brush strokes, and that gives me a nice gradient and a nice glow as well, and that way we get a nice 3D effect. Awesome, so once we are done with that, I'm gonna start coloring his armor, and I'm gonna fill up this entire area, but make sure to leave a blank area again because of the light. Now we'll use a darker tone again, just like before. And the darkest tone will be G99. Awesome, and now we'll move to color his sleeves. So again, I'm gonna use 3 different tones of the same color, red, and a quick tip while blending, try not to overdo it, cause then it might ruin the page and the colors will look poor. Okay, so we'll do the same process for his tail. If you are wondering why I don't color his tail with the Super Saiyan colors, it's because in the movie they didn't as well, so I'm gonna stick to the movie and color it brown. Once we are done with that, I'm gonna color his pants, and I'm gonna use one color for that. I'm gonna use BG09 for that, and to give it a nice shade I'm gonna use the same color just by adding some more layers. And for the darkest area I'm gonna use a gray tone, which will be C7. I'm gonna use C1 for the white parts of his armor, just to give it a nice shade, and I'll use a bit darker tone, also gray, again to give it a nice gradient. Awesome, so now we can complete the armor by again using a BG09. Then we'll use C7, that's a gray tone. And for the darkest areas I'm gonna use a black tone. Awesome, so once we are done with that, we can focus on the head. I'm gonna start by coloring his scar, and I'm gonna use 2 colors for that. Awesome, so I'm gonna color the face right now, and I'm gonna leave some blank areas at his bottom lip, his cheeks, and his bumps above the eyes, cause those are the areas that sticks out more. Now we'll add some shades using E21. And I'll use the darkest tone for all the darkest areas. Awesome, now we can color his headband. I'm gonna use the same color we used in the armor for his eyes, and as you can tell, I left a blank area for a nice highlight. Now for the eyebrows, I'm gonna use Y15, and I'm gonna give it a nice shade with YR23. And I'll give some shade for the eyes as well using C1. Awesome, okay, so now I'm gonna show you how to color one spike. I'll start with the brightest color, Y00, and I'm gonna leave a blank area too. Then we use Y15. YR23, and we'll do some blending just like before, the same process. Awesome, so I'm gonna do the same for the rest of the spikes, so I'm gonna hit the time-lapse button and we'll continue when I'm done. And we are done, everybody. This is how you draw Bardock Super Saiyan 1. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, let me know down below in the comment section. Don't forget to leave a like, share this video with your friends, and subscribe if you're new. Also, if you want to see the time-lapse version for this drawing with an awesome aura too, I'm gonna leave a link in the end of this video. That's all for today. Keep being awesome, everybody, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.